Okay, it's a beautiful day. No excuse. Let's get in the garage and see what we're up to. Okay, so we finally got some space in the garage after my XJ40 has left. After it came in to fix the washers and was in here for about 6 months, but anyway, that's another story. So today we have somehow got to turn that lot of what most people would call junk, I guess, which I found yesterday, and turn it into a dupe for this. Finally back on the Mini, so yeah, let's get measuring, do some cutting, and then we'll come back and have a chat about it. See you in a bit. Okay, so now we've got to start thinking about how we're actually going to rotate it. Normally most people do like the pipe within a pipe thing. I haven't got any pipe, so we can't do that. What I have got is this abandoned go-kart project from many years ago, so I think I'd use that. I've got one half of it here, and the other half of it here is a little centrifugal clutch thing, but we won't be using that, so we should have enough for front and back. So I think probably the best thing to do is let's get some of this together, and then hopefully it'll all make sense. Okay, how are we getting on? Right, so we've got the basic frame parts cut to size, and you might be thinking, well, why is that so small? Most of the ones you can buy, most of the ones I've seen made, they extend past the front panel, and I thought it might be nice to make this one so that you can shut the bonnet when you're finished the floor and you're ready to put the front end on, so that you can line it all up, but that will become more obvious as we go along. Okay everyone, I'm just about to put the frame back in, and I just wanted to say that the little shelf that it sits on at the back here, certainly on my Mini, is nowhere near level. Let's see if I can get in. So if I put that where it wants to be, you can see it's like it's miles out of level. I've got the car level, and it's definitely here is where it's leaning back. So if you know, like me, you find your frame is like out here, it's like tipping out. I wouldn't panic about that. It seems that people, you know, just, you know, tailor theirs to accommodate that. I'm going to put some packers at this end so that, you know, I can just true that up a bit. I think some of them, you know, there's just so much slop in the turning mechanism that, you know, some might not even notice it, but I just thought I'd mention it. It's something I didn't know, and I've been working on these cars for longer than I care to remember, and I never knew that, you know, you just presume that would be level, but it doesn't appear to be. Okay, let's get this frame back in. Cheers. Okay, everybody, we are actually getting somewhere now. Just to prove that I'm making it up as I go along, as if you didn't know already. I have actually managed to find some bar which we can slide our shaft into, which, as you've probably all worked out, negates the use for any fancy bearings. As I've got that far with it, we'll use it. We won't use bearings on the back, so it'll all be pretty much straightforward, but we'll go with it for now. So we've also done the brackets that attach to the subframe mountings on the body, so we should be good there. So we're getting very close to wanting to know how high to make the stand that this piece here is going to hopefully bolt to. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm doing some very sort of crude measurements. I've got them over here. There's not much size to this. All you've got to make sure is, and bear in mind, that the whole car at some point or another will be touching the ground or not far off the ground. So according to what I've found, the furthest point from your, what I'm calling your roll centre, because it'll be, you know, however you make it, from my roll centre, the furthest point away is up in this corner. So I mean, I've got 33, but don't take any of this as gospel. I can't find any other measurement that's bigger than that, so we'll go with that for now. I've got the added complication of having a scissor lift that's probably going to, you know, lives in this position, so I'm adding 5 inches of height to my stand to make sure I clear that, because if I don't, and I just, you know, measure it off the ground, then when this spins round, I'll be hitting my scissor lift. So, but that's just in my situation. But if you've got anything, you know, that lives on your floor, then obviously just make some allowance for that. So that's pretty much where we are at the moment. If I think of anything else, I'll get back to you. So let me get on with making a start on making this stand. Okay, we've got the stand made. I just wanted to bring you in at this point because at the moment it's in what I would call the storage mode or shell moving position. So the car is actually on the front stand. That's where it's sitting at the minute. What I wanted to do was show you. Let me just get that out of the way. That with it actually sitting on the front stand, and there you go. She's on the stand, bonnet down. So if you were, let's say, going to pick up a shell, or maybe you were gonna take your shell for paint and you wanted to roll it around on the stand, you've got that facility, which means all the gear is underneath the bonnet and you haven't got a lot of contraption that's all sticking out, you know, a foot, 2 foot in front of it. Also, I mean, who's got storage to spare? I mean, I'm lucky, I've got a big garage, but you know, I mean, it's, you know, it's just chocker. So, you know, if you can save yourself, I mean, especially you guys in the single garage, if you can save yourself 18 inches, you know, between when you're, you know, using it as a rotisserie and when you're just parking it, you know, that's got to be worth considering. I mean, this is only the main difference between this stand and many of the others that, you know, you see. So just something to think about. You know, that's one advantage of doing it this way. There is another point which we'll talk about when I bring you back. Okay, cheers. Hi everybody. Right, what have I been up to since I saw you last? Right. Well, the main thing is we're up on the front stand. So if we had the rear stand, theoretically we could turn this around now. So I guess that's the main thing. I've also put some little extensions on the frame to make sure we had no tipping issues when the wheels went on. I have fitted the wheels and I've given it a coat of undercoat. So that's what I've been up to. I've obviously been looking at the footage, and when I had this in this position in the engine bay, I did say that would enable you to start putting the front end on. Obviously you can't fully line up and set the position of the front end unless you've got the front subframe in. So I just wanted to clarify that. You can sling it on like I've done here, or you could use it to move an existing shell that had a front end on, but it was misleading to say that, you know, you could start putting a new front end on. So I hope that clears that up. Just finishing off the design of this frame. I like the flat top. If you've got your frame, it's got like this shape at the top, you know, that's great for a rotisserie. Nothing wrong with it at all. But if you've got a nice flat top and you make a pair, then you know you can use it for other things. You can use it as a fabrication table, or on a building project, string some planks across, alter it. It just gives you a few more options. I mean, and this one as well, it can be unbolted as well as the more ready-made ones that you see, I guess. So I quite like that feature. So in part 2 we'll build the rear frame and obviously see if it spins and does what we want it to do. And then just to wrap up, I'll walk you around, this shell and how I got it and its problems and la-di-da. But the rear frame will be very much the same as most you see. There won't be any innovations as such. We just need to build it to work with this one. And if you are following along, or you are actually watching these videos to you could be in the middle of making one for all I know. The only tip I'll say now before we get to the part 2 is, however you're building your frame, just make sure the front roll center here is the same height as the back. The roll centers need to be the same. The frames can be doing different things, but the actual pivot point needs to be at the same, because if one's here and one's here, it's not going to work. So, well, that's it for now. I'd just like to thank you all for watching. If you've made it this far, amazing. Okay everybody, thanks for watching, stay safe, see you in the next one.